So are you moving to Atlanta and you had your heart set on Morningside, perhaps because of the high ranking schools, but maybe the price point just cut you out from considering that neighborhood? Well, I have an alternative for you, and it's zoned to the same schools as Morningside, and that's the neighborhood of Piedmont Heights. Now, it comes with a few little catches, so stay tuned. I'm going to talk about those coming up, but I'll show you around this neighborhood, including a really good Tex-Mex restaurant, so stay tuned for that. Let's get into it. Let's talk all about living in Piedmont Heights right now. It's Molly and welcome to my channel. If you are new or returning and you haven't subscribed yet, don't wait any longer. Hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and hit that bell if you want to be one of the first to be notified when I do post another video of the Atlanta area. But you guys, I am here to show you around the Atlanta and help you find a neighborhood that fits your lifestyle and your budget. So whether you're moving tomorrow or next year, feel free to reach out to me for any questions or help. You can shoot me a text, give me a call, send me an email, or put any comments in that comments box below. I love hearing from you guys, and I can't wait to help some of you out that are moving here. So let's get into it. Piedmont Heights. Before we get started, let's just put Piedmont Heights up on a map so you can see where it's at. And you can see it's kind of catty corner from Piedmont Park and not too far from the Midtown downtown areas. It makes kind of a upside down teardrop, which I always like. It's just a fun shape, but it roughly borders Morningside and Ansley Park, and to the north of it would be the Buckhead area. You can see that it's right by I-85, so you have very quick access there. But in terms of drive times, Midtown, it takes you about 6 minutes, downtown 14 minutes, the airport is 23 minutes, over to Emory is 12 minutes, and Buckhead 12 minutes as well. So pretty quick commutes if you're trying to get around town. And if you're kind of wondering where am I standing, I'm actually behind, Piedmont Heights has its own park. It's called Gotham Way Park. It's not in the greatest shape right now. It has been raining a ton, and I walked down there to get a few shots for you, but I just got some new shoes and they're white and it's kind of muddy. So I sacrificed my new white shoes just to get you a couple of shots of this park. But it has some playground equipment, a little area for some picnic tables. But so yeah, there is a small little park here, but I wouldn't say it's like gangbusters awesome. So I'm gonna start walking because the homes I'm going to show you today, they're all on the same street. And that's one thing about the Piedmont Heights area, is that there's only a couple of main streets in this neighborhood, and then there's a few spurs that go off of the streets to like dead end streets. So let me keep walking and I'll keep talking. So I started off with giving you a little teaser of saying, you know, if you can't find a home in Morningside, come check out Piedmont Heights. Now, the whole reason I said that is because a lot of people want to be in that Morningside school district. They have really great schools. The schools are Morningside Elementary. There's a garbage truck coming, so let me hold for that. So what I'm saying, they're coming to pick up yard trimming. So as I was saying, Morningside Elementary, Howard Middle School, and Midtown High School are the schools, very highly ranked. And so everyone wants to get into the Morningside School District. Well, if you watch my Morningside vlog tour, Morningside is not cheap. And you know, if your budget's under $1 million, if it's more in the 600 to 800K range, you might want to consider Piedmont Heights. They have a lot more home options. And in fact, the median sales price is just over $650,000. So you're going to find older bungalows. There are some new construction homes, but I would say like the majority are older bungalows. Now they could be a little quirky or a funky layout or need some updating, but hey, if that's, you know, no problem for you, then you could find this place to be a good spot for you. There's also some new construction in here, and usually the new construction is slightly cheaper than, you know, in Morningside proper. So I'm coming up actually on a house right here I can show you. Beautiful craftsman style home. And that, you know, this is a much newer home, but you know, I don't know the price point of this one, but I'm sure it's over $1 million, but it's not going to be like $1.8 million. But then you're going to find a lot of these like ranch style homes. So I want to show you a few examples, and I'm coming up on first a very expensive example This is a new construction, has 5 beds, 4.5 baths, an unfinished basement over 4,000 square feet. It's actually not quite done. You're going to see someone working on here. And this one's $2.2 million. So there is some more pricier options here, but I'm just going to show you a sample so you get an idea of what you can get in this neighborhood. Okay, I was slightly off. This home is $2.3 million, a 5-bedroom, 4.5 bath. It has a lot of the light flooring, a lot of the modern finishes, over 4,000 square feet. It's brand new. It's still for sale. So yeah, there's an option of something that is brand new. And then right next to it, you kind of get this older ranch. Not really a fan of the yellow trim, but that's something you can fix up. But there's some really sweet homes in this neighborhood. But yeah, like I said, some of them could use some fixing up and a little updating. So if that doesn't scare you, then yeah, this is you know, definitely an option for you. Now, the other catch with this neighborhood, I would say, is it's not super walkable because there's only a couple of main streets. To get onto the other main street, you have to go out on a busy road, either Monroe or Piedmont, and those are both very, very busy roads, heavily traveled because people are trying to get on I-85. So it's just not like a super tight-knit neighborhood, I guess. But I will say there's a lot of families that live here, or young professionals, that kind of thing. Here's another big Craftsman right there. So yeah, I'd say that's like the other downside, is it's not super walkable. You're not very far from Piedmont Park, but it is a little bit of a haul if you live on the very northern end of Piedmont Heights. The other great thing about Piedmont Heights is that it does run up against the Beltline. So you just have to cross over the busy Monroe Road, but then you can get right onto the Beltline, which they do have that little section finished. And I believe they're working on a piece of the trail that goes from basically like Piedmont Heights down through Piedmont Park. So that'll be exciting when that gets all finished up. Let me go show you another home example, a little bit cheaper and nicer, so you can kind of see what that's like. Okay, right behind me. Now this is a really cute example of a fully renovated bungalow home. It's 1,700 square feet, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, sold for $815,000. Super open layout, has a beautifully renovated kitchen and bathrooms. Like, the kitchen is just really beautiful, white countertops, cabinets, everything. It's just really, really nice, and it has a nice backyard. So there you go. If you want something a little bit updated, it's not going to have a ton of square footage, but really nice and under $1 million, then this is a great option. So I'm going to keep walking down the street though, and I've got another example for you that's in the $600K range. It could use some updating. It's a little older, but I'm just showing you some options. So let's go. All right, behind me now is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It sold for $610,000, just over 1,500 square feet. Now, here's the thing though, it's only 2 bedrooms and 1 bath on the top floor, and a 1-bedroom, 1 bath on the bottom floor. And the bottom floor really is better used for like an in-law suite or an Airbnb. It's a little older down there. It's not like the most welcoming, but it'll work, if you spruce it up a little bit. This one's gonna have, original hardwood floors, a little of an awkward layout, and it has a lot of that wood paneling. You know what I'm talking about, like the 1950s wood paneling that really could be painted over or just removed. But that's what you're gonna find in this home. So it could use a little TLC. It does have a small kitchen. It's just a smaller footprint of a home, but it has a nice yard, and you can see the driveway right here. And that's one thing, again, in this neighborhood, unless it's a newer construction home, a lot of them are just going to be driveways. Like you can see that one has just a driveway. Walking down a little further, and you're going to see an example of a newer build. And then I'm going to walk you down to one of the main roads, Monroe, just so you can see how busy of a road that road is, because it is definitely very busy. But here we go. We've got an example of a newer style home. This one's a little bit more modern, but beautiful. So yeah, let me walk you down to Monroe. You can see how busy that traffic is. I popped under the trees because it was a lot shadier, but the sidewalk, it's only on one side of the street. So I'm gonna head back over on the sidewalk and try not to burn alive with the sun beating down on me. But yeah, Monroe, like I said, this is a very busy road because a lot of people take it to get onto I-85. So it can be a bear too if you're trying to come out of this particular street and turn left on Monroe. I mean, this street is pretty busy, and it also goes around a curve, so you kind of have almost like a blind spot. So it's one thing that you would have to just kind of get used to if you are trying to make a left-hand turn. Of course, now that I'm walking on Monroe, there's no cars coming and it looks like it's a tame road, but trust me, this road right here in Monroe, it can get very, very busy, and the cars kind of whip around this corner. You can see right here, they kind of whip around there coming down towards the intersection of Piedmont and Monroe pretty quickly. One thing I will caution you is that if you look at a home that's for sale on Monroe, just know that it's on a very, very busy street. So if you don't like traffic noise and cars going by your house at 35 miles an hour, yeah, you don't want to consider Monroe. But generally, the homes on Monroe are going to be a little bit cheaper because it is on a busy road. So, you know, there's a trade-off, and it just depends on what your comfort level is. Okay, so I just hopped over Monroe and I'm on East Rock Springs Road headed towards the Beltline. And I just want to show you kind of how close you really are. So yeah, if you want to get on the Beltline, you could easily walk over there and ride your bike, but you do have to hop over that busy road, which can be a little bit of a pain, but it's not the end of the world. So let me go just show you how quickly you can get over to the Beltline. Okay, that took a little longer than I expected, but it's really not that bad. I think what was bad is it's just really hot and I am sweating like crazy. You know, I'm filming this in September, and I always feel like in my mind when it's September, summer should be over, the heat should be gone, but no, it's still here. But I just came off of this ramp off of Montgomery Ferry Road and I hit the Beltline. So there's the portion here, it's not done, but if you go this way, you're gonna go all the way up to I-85, and I believe it stops there. So there you go. You can hop on your bike or jog down here. It's definitely walkable. You can access the Beltline from Piedmont Heights. It's a little bit of a trek, but not really that bad. And boy, I am sweating like crazy. So next I'm gonna go and show you some of the shopping areas, because Piedmont Heights, that's one great thing about this area, is that you're really close to grocery stores, all of your like daily needs, and that great Tex-Mex restaurant that I was going to tell you about. So I'm going to go hit up Ansley Mall, which is really just right here. So let me go show you that, and yeah, we'll keep going from there. Okay, I'm outside the Ansley Mall, which is kind of at the corner of Monroe and Piedmont, and you're just gonna find a little bit of everything here. You've got the Publix, a Kroger, and then you have Richard's Variety Store if you're looking for gifts, and they have a lot of kids' toys. They've got a Starbucks, an LA Fitness. It goes on and on and on. They're Bantam and Biddy. And then across the street, there is a UPS right there if you need to ship something, and there's a Goodwill donation center. I go there all the time when I'm cleaning out my closet and need to dump some stuff. So there you go. There is the Ansley Mall for you. I'll give you a few more shots of this area so you can kind of see what's here. So I forgot to mention that there are some townhomes in the Piedmont Heights area, not a ton, just like condos, there's not a ton, so I'm not gonna talk about them too much, but this is an example. I remember when these were built and they felt very new. They were built in 2012. Now they kind of look a little dated. They've got kind of more the rich, dark cherry cabinets, that kind of style going on inside, but they're really nice units, and these range anywhere from 620,000 to 720,000. I'm sorry, 640,000 to 720,000. The HOA is $310 a month. It does have a pool, which is right behind me, but that's kind of it. And they're just right off of Monroe. These are called the Ansley Parkside. So if you're looking for something like a townhome, these are a reasonable price for a good quality townhome. You know, they're just not going to be kind of the newer finishes that are in style in 2022, but they're very nicely built. Okay, side note, there's a Jimmy John's like literally down the driveway of this townhome complex. Pretty nice, right? Okay, I'm gonna take a spin around the neighborhood. There's not a lot of streets to drive down, but it'll give you an idea of the flavor of homes that you're gonna find in the Piedmont Heights area. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. One thing I want to make note of on some of these dead-end streets that are on the very north side, so they dead end, and then across all the tree, you can't really see it here, but there are apartments, there is a bowling alley, there's I-85, so you hear the traffic noise. And another thing, there is a fire station, so I don't know how loud that would get when they put their sirens on, but my guess is if you live close to these dead-end streets on the very end, you might hear those fire trucks at all hours. And so that might be why these homes their price points stay a little lower. So there you go, now you're in the know. And that's why you reach out to me, because I know these little random nuggets that you're not gonna know looking on the internet. So, you know, if you're having questions or you need some more help with your move, reach out to me, shoot me a text, give me a call, send me an email. I am here for you. Now, I have been seeing a trend in Piedmont Heights of some more newer, bigger builds coming into the area. So you can see, like right behind me, there's a new construction right there. We've got this cute one. Oh my goodness, I love the yard. It looks like some of these are built on double lots. So like this one is probably valued at about $1.5 million. And then you got this gigantic one right over here that's like a $3 million build. So, I mean, there are some homes that do get pricey, but the majority of the homes in this area are going to be smaller. Like this one behind me, now we're back into like the 600K range. So it is a little bit of a mishmash of homes. And I saw this other cluster of newer construction homes. Let me just walk over to the corner, and they're ranging anywhere from 1.3 to 1.5 million. Now these are more of a cluster home, less yard, more house. So if you're looking for something like that, there's definitely that option as well. But yeah, this house right here is amazing. I had never noticed that home until I started driving along the street, but here we go. You're gonna see like this cluster of homes, nice big size, newer. So there you go. There's an example of what you'll find in this community. A lot of older homes, a lot of newer homes. So, you know, if you are looking for a newer construction or maybe just a lot, this might be a place to target because you're still close to a lot of the in-town things like Piedmont Park, but you won't have to pay quite as steep of a price point as you would if you're building in Morningside or Virginia Highland. And yeah, I love this street. This is a nice, quieter street, a little further back from the highway noise so you don't hear that. So yeah, it's a great option. Quick pit stop. I have to stop and mention Smith's Olde Bar. This is like a staple here in Atlanta. Fun venue, lots of concerts, food, bar, that kind of thing. And they shoot movies here, like Jennifer Lopez shot a movie here. So just had to point that out. All right, I'm walking up towards the Piedmont Avenue Street, which is another big busy road. It's on the opposite side of Monroe, where I was just at with the Ansley Mall shopping center. So look over there, you got a nice new build home. And then I've noticed there's a couple of these ranch homes. These are actually duplexes. I've noticed there's 2 doors in the front, so it's a house that's been split in half. So it's, you know, apartments or rental units. And then I'm coming up here on kind of like an older apartment home complex called Morningside Court. You can see it right here. It looks like it's gated. And yeah, we're coming up on a little flurry of some restaurants, and there's a Sprouts shopping market right here and a gas station, Killer Burgers. You got Grana, this Italian place. So let me go show you all that, plus my Tex-Mex restaurant I promised you earlier. Okay, as promised, Little Ray El Carbon. That is a really good Tex-Mex restaurant. It's actually owned by the same chef of my favorite Super Rica. Hey, there's someone waving. So anyway, check this place out. It's really good, and you can get margaritas to go. But okay, you guys, that's the end of my vlog tour of Piedmont Heights. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're moving tomorrow or next year, you have questions, reach out to me, shoot me a text, send me an email, or give me a call. Love hearing from you guys. Until next time, you guys, I'm gonna go rest my feet and get out of this heat. So I'll see you around the neighborhood.